Hey guys, we got a quickie review for you right here. This is going to be Walthers Mainline locomotive, and it's an instant classic. Something I'm sure you guys will like, and you might could tell this thing's got some orange to it, so might be a pretty interesting quickie review here. So why don't we take this out of the box and see what we got? Hang on just a second. All right, guys, and here it is. I told you we got Walthers brought out a true classic, and here it is. It's a GP9 decorated for BNSF Railway. Kind of interesting. Uh, I was kind of surprised to see this scheme come out on a HO GP9. So glad Walthers actually did this. That's pretty pretty cool here. Um, so yeah. Uh, this is part of their budget line mainline series of locomotives. Of course, this particular locomotive, unlike the other offerings, this one does not have sound or DCC in it. It is a straight DC locomotive. Thought we'd kind of go back to the roots of the channel a little bit and focus on the budget friendly locomotives and freight cars. So this next string of quickie reviews we're going to do is going to be kind of in that territory. Cars that are very affordable, not a whole lot of detail, but still very, very nice looking. So yeah, we'll do some. We got some more quickie reviews for you on these budget line cars and locomotives. So we'll start with this GP9 as the headliner. And I tell you what, for a budget line locomotive, this is a really, really nice looking piece here. Of course, it's a this locomotive, of course, built back in the prototype built back in the 50s, early 50s, I'd say. So, and some of them still run today. In fact, there are photos of a prototype GP9 that was painted into these colors. And even more interesting, it was what they call a torpedo tube GP9. That's because it had the air tanks and whatnot on the roof of the locomotive, and they called them torpedo tube Jeeps because of that. So, but yeah, there is a prototype, or was. I don't know if it's still on the road or not, but there was a prototype GP9 that were painted into these colors here. So, pretty cool. Uh, this locomotive, of course, carries the road number 1633. Now, I don't know how many GP9s ever got this scheme, but even if this is not a prototype locomotive, it's still a very, very believable piece. Uh, it is possible that BNSF would have painted their GP9, several of their GP9s that were left on the roster this in this scheme. So, but without further ado, let's take a tour of this locomotive. We'll start here at the front. Of course, it is a high hood GP9. I'll try to angle it up where the light ain't blinding us. So, but even though there's not a lot of detail, what is there looks really good. It gives the engine a nice appearance. Of course, you have the Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Whoops, I don't hit the handrail. There's the Burlington Northern Santa Fe logo right there. Might be a little bit difficult to see. There we go. I'm gonna try and turn this where it's not. There we go. Yeah, there's a good look at it. And there's the BNSF, the original BNSF logo with the Santa Fe style markings right there. Of course, nice printed number boards, looks really good, and the handrails look really nice too, painted. Even with the white ends on the front grab irons there, which would have been correct for BNSF. A lot of these H1 painted, Heritage 1 painted locomotives had this feature, so very, very nicely done. We'll, of course, come around to the side of the locomotive. By the way, you do notice there are class lights up here. They do not function. I don't know about the number boards. Don't know if they light up or not, but we'll find that out when we test this engine. And we know for a fact it's going to have directional headlights, but yeah, it looks really good on the front there. See a lot of nice details there. We'll come around to the side of the locomotive to the cab right here. Of course, you got the road number. And I don't know if you noticed there or not, but they even put figures in there. There's a conductor's figure right there. And of course, on the other side, there's engineer's figure. We'll see that when we turn it around. Truck detail looks really good. Again, even though this is a budget-friendly locomotive, the details that are present look really nice. You see the GP9. I don't know if you saw that or not. I'm going to try and get it. You might can make it out right there. You see the GP9 logo markings right there. And, of course, you see the tiny little F right there, which marks that this locomotive is a short hood forward operating GP9. Some of these railroads actually operate these locomotives long hood forward, but that actually, believe it or not, that actually is correct for BNSF. They did run their GP9s short hood forward, so what they did have of them, at least to my knowledge, so or at least they did designate them short hood forward. So, but we'll come down here. The striping is really nicely done on this locomotive. Paint separation looks really good, nice and crisp. Of course, you have the BNSF here on the side, right here. Come down here, we'll look at the rear truck detail. Again, like I said, not a ton of detail, but what is there looks really good. In fact, the trucks look really nice. Even for a budget model, looks really, really good. And of course, the step painting on the steps there looks really nice, like that. Little highlights there. And of course, you see the printed rear number boards and the rear headlight right there. That all looks really, really nice. And the fuel tank detail looks good. There's the air tanks right there. Of course, we'll come down here, and I apologize for my phone not wanting to focus, but there's a nice look at the fuel tanks right there. Looks really, really nice. So, overall, this is a very, very nice engine. Hang on just a second, and I'll pause it, and we'll turn around and look at the engineer's side. Hang on. Okay, we're here at the engineer's side, and pretty much the same story, second verse. Nice detail. What there is present on there. Of course, you see the air horn right there on top. Handrails look nice and straight. Overall, this engine looks really, really good. It's a very cool little locomotive. You know, I got this to run on my inner loop right here. This inner loop, so it should handle 18-inch curves very nicely. Of course, the grill detail looks really nice right here. Not see-through, but there's pretty good detail right there. It looks nice and crisp right there. And we'll come over the top much you get a look at the top. Of course, there's that air horn right there. Cab looks really good. Paint really looks good. Really did a nice job on the paint. There's the fan detail right there. Again, not see-through, but very nice and crisp. Nicely done. Of course, you got the exhaust stacks right there. Nice looking dual exhaust. And then, of course, the rear fans right here. Now, Walthers does sell a detail kit for these locomotives to kind of dress them up a little bit more. So, if you want to dress these engines up a little bit, you can buy the kit and add those details to it and have a really nice looking model for not a whole lot of money. These locomotives sell in straight DC form like this one for about for about $100. It's $99.99, I think is what it is on Train World's website. So really nice budget locomotive. You can pick up a couple of them in straight DC and probably have all the locomotives you need for a nice long train. But we've blabbed about the detail, or I've blabbed about the details But I'm sure you guys are like me and want to see how this thing performs. Why don't we get it on the inner loop and let's give it a run, see what happens. Alright, we got on our inner loop here. We're ready to try this thing out and see what we got. So we're going to turn the power on the DC power pack. Whoops, guess what? Silly me. I need to remember to turn my cord on. Okay, now we got power on. So let's try it out and see what we get. And tell you what, nice, quiet drive line. Really wouldn't expect anything else out of a Walthers engine. Their drive lines are nice and smooth. So we'll flip it back around. We'll try and reverse it. Headlight looks really good right there. Like I said, driveline sounds really good. So let's just couple it up to a train. Let's see what we got out of this thing here. So let's tap it forward. And I'll tell you what, pulls that train pretty good. That Trek Clean boxcar right there is actually really heavy. So the fact that it's pulling that plus about what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 more cars, that's pretty decent pulling power for a little GP9 like that. And nice speed on it. And also my layout's not exactly level, so the fact that it's pulling that train fairly easily is pretty good, because that boxcar is probably the equivalent of about 7 or 8 normal freight cars with those motors in it. It's a very, very heavy boxcar. So it's slipping a little bit right there, but you can see right there, it's handling that train pretty doggone good. In fact, why don't I turn the light off here? Let's turn this light off, or you can get a good look at the headlights on this thing. It's going to come around right here. Headlights look really good on this engine too. Now you can buy this engine with sound. It comes with the ESU look sound in it. I think they're about $150, something like that. So pretty doggone affordable engine. You know, for if you want a good sound equipped engine, they'll give you good years of service. I mean, it's handling the train pretty good. You know, that boxcar is kind of holding it back, but it does that with a lot of my locomotives. So this Jeep is not the first one to have to lose its footing with that car behind it. So yeah, the fact that it's pulling this train is a really nice sign. Might have to pick up another one of these to go with it. So yeah, I think we got some good power for this inner loop here. I like it. So with that being said, we hope you enjoyed this little quickie review. And before I forget, I did forget to mention this. So before I go, you do get documentation with the engine. It tells you how to lubricate it and whatnot. Get the body off, and it sits in a nice foam protected in transport and storage. So yeah, overall, my thoughts on this engine: very nice, very affordable. Definitely worth picking one up if you're on a budget and need a good locomotive to run a good, decent train with. So with that being said, we hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you in the next review. Take care, all.